Yeah, hello. Can you hear me? Good. Okay. Yeah, my name is Norbert. I work at Nutrex, but I will come to that later. My talk will be. Can I have to see it here? Can I have it up on the screen? It's not here. Otherwise, I have to turn around all the time. No, it's okay. I just have to look at the screen at some point.
What is really weird is that he's.
Listen. Es geht schon.
Okay.
Ja.
Diese komische Hand. Das Ding kriege ich irgendwie nicht weg.
This is okay. Okay, so my talk is buckle up. Why you have to make concessions to achieve true independence, and why it's working in a startup is the best and the worst thing that can happen in your life. Yeah, one of the first things I want to talk about is that you have to know yourself and what you want and what you're willing to do for it. This is really important for later on, because like before I started working in games, I said I will never make browser games. I hated the whole idea of free-to-play and like giving people something and then make them pay later on. Or like I wanted to do Shadow of the Colossus, Flower, these kinds of games, like really expressive, something that's like from me personally, and I like this. Wow, this is a cool experience. That's what I wanted to do. But people can change. I learned a little in between. I went to university to study computer science, and there I started working on a game project. What was it should be was planned to be a free-to-play game. It was never released. But from that on, I moved to the Games Academy to study game design. And when you learn about the process of making games, you learn that it's a lot of work, and you need a lot of people and a lot of money to do this. And yeah, in that phase in the Games Academy, I started working with some friends, like in the second half of studying. We thought, well, it was the time when Farmville was really big. Like everyone wanted to play, and was like everyone said, "Wow, we never seen this before. Why does it work so good?" And we said, okay, we want to do something like this. We want to make a game that anyone can play. And we looked for a topic that anyone could be into. And we came up with music. Everyone likes music. Everyone likes the idea of having his own band. So we came up with a Facebook game where you can start your own band. But I will talk a little bit about that later. But yeah, it's like, basically what I want to say is like, you change. In the beginning, I thought about like idealistically, I want to make something that's cool, but I didn't know about the process of making games. It's a lot different if you know how they are made, and if you want to live from it, you need money. Yeah, this is like where this shift started. After the Games Academy, I worked with Anjin in his company for a while, and since our game was like quite well received in school, we managed to go to some of the music labels here in Germany. We went to Universal Music at first, and Sony Music, Warner, and EMI. And while I was working at Playertope, it got way bigger. So at some point, yeah, this is the shift. First I was like, but then I was like, I want to make awesome Facebook game with friends in our own company. And like I said, yeah, this is the game, next big thing. I will show you some screens later. Yeah, we've been working in companies after school. And at some point it was so big, we were talking to those labels. And when the first contracts or like letter of intents came, that they said, okay, we want to work with you on this game because we want to have like real musics and real artists in that. We said, okay, we need a company now. So with those two crazy guys, I founded Nutrex. We make social games for music fans. And let me see what's next. Yeah. The first concessions you see, we started while we were already employed. It was only our free time. We worked till 6 or something, and then from 7 till 12 in the night or whatever, we worked on presentations for the labels and everything. And it got way more serious, and we thought, okay, now that we have a company, we want to work full-time on it, we need money. And luckily, you've seen Michael Liebe from the Medium Board, or he's been at the Medium Board. They funded our product, or like the prototype of the game. And from that money, we could like produce it in our own office. This is like the first office we got. And this is the nice view on the Spree. It's directly, and I know who's been there, it's directly next to the Games Academy where the party was yesterday. Yeah, these are some screens. Do you see? This is the stage with your band and the fans. You can like initially we had the idea of like building these merchandise booths. We changed that, but it still looks cool. This is Katy Perry. We want to have like real artists in there. This is like, I will come to the hassle we had with that later on. And now at this point, like, this is our office now on the inside. We are 7 people. We have like 4 new ones, and we're going to grow soon. And if everything works out well in the next few weeks, we will get funding to like really make this big. And now we're coming to the point where I tell you about the concessions we made to get there from this like student group, had this crazy idea, somehow managed to approach the labels and tell them what we wanted to do, and they kind of liked it, to the point where we have this great feeling in the company that everyone believes in this product and in the vision of the company, and even other people are so willing to believe in us that they want to give us money. Wasn't an easy way, because if you found your own company, you have to do everything yourself, everything. You have to take care of marketing, human resources, taxing, networking. You have responsibilities, supposed to say responsibilities. And it's a lot of work to work in your company. It's time that you don't have to work on your game. That's a concession you make. You say, we want to do it on our own, but you have to take care of everything. You have to like convince people that the idea is good. You have to make presentations for that. You have to approach partners who you're going to work with. I don't know, I don't want to go into the discussions with the labels because we'll never hear the end of it. It takes forever to talk to them. But yeah, you have to like basically manage everything you do. But if you accept the pain, it can't hurt you. And if you do, you can do anything with that, because it's fucking awesome to decide who you are going to employ, how contracts are going to be. Like, we had so many contracts on our table that were like really bad for us, and we said, no, we're not going to sign that. And it's like going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Like, if we had signed all contracts the first time, like date we got them, we'd be screwed by now, really badly. Yeah, paying your bills can be cool if you manage to like get the money and you can pay them on your own. That's fucking great. A lot of paperwork, I don't do that. I have someone else who likes it more than I, or you employ someone at some point who does all it. But yeah, the great thing is you can really decide how you want to, yeah, at some point it doesn't feel like work anymore because you know what you're doing it for. You have this vision in your company and for the product, and it's great to say, okay, I can network, not I must network, but I can acquire funding that I have to. And even more, the cool thing is you can decide who you're working with. At the moment, I'm working with friends. That can be a problem later on. But I think like when like the company gets bigger and there's really a lot of money involved, all the shareholders are like, it's different. If you're partner in a company and friends, it can be different. But it's really great. We're having a ball in our office. Like, I don't know if I show you the picture again of Franziska. It was really crazy yesterday. Too much. We're almost there. We had a photo shooting like for company pictures, and down there on the left, that's Franziska. She's responsible for human resources, and she had the crazy idea, I always wanted to shave my head at some point, and she brought a shaver in the office, and we shaved her hair on that day. It's just like stuff you could like, I think not do in a normal company. If you work for someone else, bring a shaver in, like shave your hair, or like get your hair shaven by the CEO of the company. I don't know. This is stuff you can do if you have your own company in your own game. Yeah, it's great. Corporate culture is really important. It's like if you're working for someone, you can like suggest something, but if something's not working or you don't feel well with something, you just say, okay, this is fucked up. We're gonna change that now. You decide where you work, how you work, whom you're working with. You choose when you get up. Sometimes you have to work, like if the presentation has to be done on Monday, you will work the weekend, but it's not that bad because you really want to do it. And you can sleep in sometimes if you just decide, if the party's too long. Yeah. Was it a question over there? Or? Okay, cool. And yeah, some of the best and the worst things in that time was, because you're on your own, you will fail a lot. And everything takes longer than expected. Everything. I can guarantee you that. Everything takes longer. Every contract, like every wiring of money you get for like work for hire or anything takes longer. you won't know what will be next week. I don't know. I don't know what's coming up for us next week. I don't know if we're in the same office or like we chose to like get a different office or have a new investor in or someone else jumps off. You just don't know. You have to be flexible. And it can be stressful, but if you learn to live with it, it frees you up. It's like, okay, I take whatever comes. You have to find out everything yourself. It's like, I don't know how to do taxes or something, or like there's a lot of things like how you hire people. I don't know that, but we just did it, but you have to do it on your own. And yeah, no one understands you more on the personal side. It's like when my friends ask me what I'm doing, they don't have any clue. It's just, oh, own company sounds cool. Games, also cool. But if you like want to talk about it, they don't get it. But it's okay. But you can talk about stuff like this. And at some point you will be broke. Everything costs money, and because everything is taking longer, you will be broke at some point. And we've been bootstrapping for the last few months. But since we know what we're working for, it's okay. But at some point we want to earn money with that. And the best things in the time since we started the company is that you learn a lot since you do everything yourself. You're your own boss. Sometimes you're even the boss of other people, but I don't really like that. I'd like to stay on the same level, but basically you can decide how you approach things. And people are willing to help. We had a lot of people helping us with the stuff we didn't know about. We had like great friends. We have 3 lawyers at the moment. And they're pretty good, but you need those people helping you because you can't do everything. You have to, but you have to get the knowledge from other people. And if you're a likable guy and they see that you really have the passion for it, people are really willing to help. They see that there's something behind it. And it's also a good feeling for them. They know, okay, it's fun working with those guys, so they're helping you. It's incredibly rewarding if you finally get the contracts or like the featuring you want to have. It's really, really rewarding because all came out of your own power. And there's always a way. If there's a problem, you will find something, or you just accept it, that it's not cool. And yes, I'm pretty quick. Some takeaways from the whole talk is, working in a startup isn't for everyone. There's a lot of work involved, a lot of networking you don't want to do, a lot of paperwork you don't want to do. I can definitely not recommend it to everyone. It's really time consuming and takes a lot of energy. Sometimes I think it would be fun just working on a farm, getting up in the morning, caring for my sheep and I don't know, just doing something other than that. But those are this is gone pretty quickly. If you're the kind of guy who likes this, it's cool, but it's really not for everyone. The 2 sides of a coin. If you fail, it's because of you, but if you succeed, it's also because of you. That's the great thing about it, and why it's feeling so rewarding if you finally succeed, finishing up your vision and gathering a great team of people who really share the same vision is really great. Again, know thyself. If you know what you want, if you know, I want to have this company with this great game and the team that works great together and a great corporate culture, and you know what you're willing to give for that, then it's pretty easy to manage to decide what you do and what you don't do. That's what I said, yeah. If you accept the pain, you can turn everything around. Everything that pisses you off at one point, just you say, okay, I have to do it, but I have the power to change everything to the way I want it to work. I wasn't sure about including this, but this is from I don't know who's seen it, from the handbook for new employees from Valve. And they have this, it's the first thing you read if you open the book. A fearless adventure in knowing what to do when no one's there telling you what to do. Is basically, it sums up the feeling of working in a startup pretty good, I think. Yeah, maybe have a look at the handbook. It's quite cool. And yeah, independence is never given. Independence is taken. You really have to work for it. But then it's cool if you have it. Finally achieve it. Yeah, that's the end of my talk. I'm pretty quick, so thank you. If you have any questions, just shoot now. But later on, you can get me on Twitter or by mail. Are there? Yeah, a couple of minutes. Any questions? I think it was pretty quick. Yeah, over there.
Yeah, how did you choose the title for your music games?
Oh, at first it was GarageBand, It was like before the second half of the Games Academy started for us. We're sitting together with Daniel and we thought about what kind of game we could do. And first it was GarageBand because we wanted it to be like grungy and like rise to fame kind of thing. You start from the garage and become a huge band. Then we Googled a little and found out that Apple has a nice product that's called GarageBand, and then we said, okay, why not next big thing? It was just out of the blue. Also, the logo was done in about 2 or 3 hours, but Daniel, like, this was the first thing we had and helped us so much, like, having this vision. We put it up on the screen, pitching to people, and it's usually the last thing we have on the slide just to, like, show this is what we want to do.
Leads to my follow-up question. Do you know that there's a AAA adventure called The Next Big Thing?
Yeah, but it's called The Next Big Thing. We're just next big thing. So it's no problem. No, I don't know. We should like definitely look into that like right-wise if we can use it. But yeah, we've seen that. People like back from school ask us, hey guys, have you released your game yet? Because like I saw something similar like, in the store lately. No, it's not that. But yeah, we've seen it. Yeah, you had a question.
Yeah. You started off saying that you wanted to make your own Shadow of the Colossus.
Yeah, something like that.
How close are you personally to that, to making the game that you wanted to make?
I think I'm pretty close. I had to make some concessions, like saying I'm personally more like the console gamer and like story-driven stuff, single-player things. But I kind of learned to see and appreciate how hard it is to make Facebook games, and said, okay, why not work? If there's nothing out there that I like, why don't we try to do something that's awesome on Facebook? Because I think the platform itself doesn't really say if a game can be good or not. I mean, it's just a possibility. And we said, okay, we want to make all the things we hate about Facebook games at the moment. We want to change them. Of course, we got to be reasonably. We can't just like give everything away for free. Of course, we want to make money with it. But yeah, I'm pretty close to that because it's cool if you decide what features you take in and what pisses you off about Facebook games at the moment. So it's definitely not what I'm going to do for the next 20 years, I think. I'd really like to work on console games later on, but I don't know. Who knows? We'll see that in a few years. This is good for now. This is really great. I love working on it, but later on I'd want to try out something different. But it's really the best thing I can do for now. Any other questions? None? Anything about the game, or we still have a couple of minutes? Yeah.
What will you do different in your business now after?
The business model. You mean like what kind of stuff we sell?
What will you do different in your business when you will start now again?
Okay. Okay, this is pretty specific with us, but we wouldn't wait as long with the labels. We approached them, like talked to them, like how do we do that with rights? Because we thought we need to like have a contract or something similar to approach investors. And it took us about half a year to like say, okay, fuck this. We just approach people with the idea and we're gonna manage the music rights later on. We would pretty much skip that way earlier. We wouldn't start with that. We didn't really have a lot of money. We have been an OG. It's not a GmbH. You need, I think, 12,000 euros for that. We didn't have that. Yeah, to start, you need only the half, and you have to pay later on. So half of it. But you need some money to start it. We didn't have that as like former students. You shouldn't start a company without money, because the money runs out quickly, and you always need money as a company. You need rent. You have to like sign contracts. You have to go to a lawyer, to consult, and everything. Everything in a company, like the first year, definitely you could like I can promise you, in the first year will only like spend money. So you should start with at least something to like have something on your back. Otherwise, you will be bootstrapping faster than you think, and this is really crap.
How did you fund your company?
Like I said, we got funding from the Medium Board. They usually fund films and movies, but they also have a program to fund game prototypes. And the prototype we produced to pitch to investors was done with the money from the Medium Board. Okay, yeah, other things, lots of things. Yeah, your question. We could talk about that later, if you like.
And the funding from Media Board,
Yeah.
is it difficult?
Yeah, I think there are more and more projects applying to that right now, and they have like a pot where they can just distribute it to like, the more good projects they fund, the less each project gets. For us, it wasn't that hard because like Roman, who does all the CEO work, like all this planning and money stuff, like timeline, when we're going to release and all that stuff, he did that pretty well. The game was quite far because we've done a lot of work in a half year when we've been at the Games Academy. But if you can show them that there's the option that the game you're making can be viable, or something like educational stuff, like serious games, they fund these kind of things. If you can tell them that it's reasonable that this game might have success, it's not that hard. I mean, some other projects that I've seen that have been like, how do you say, that applied, you can bet that those were like, I don't want to be like, this shouldn't sound bad, like, but crazy indies, just give us the money and we do something with it. They also have to like say, okay, we spend it on this project because they have to like justify it. But I think it's not that hard if you have a good team and someone. I mean, it's reasonable. The things they want from you are things you should do if you want to make a game work and a company work. So I think it's okay. It's not that hard, I think, if you take it seriously. And they were really cool working with it. So if you like try to help them out and explain everything, because they're not developers per se, so you have to like explain some of the stuff like more in detail and like take them in a hand. But then it's cool working with them. It was okay, yeah.
If you're considering like hooking up with the medium board, you can always ask Michael Liebe, who was part of the opening, the guy in the suit, because he's the representative, and he's the counselor for the medium board regarding anything around games and interactive media.
Do you have to be from Berlin to qualify? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to.
Medium board Berlin, Brandenburg, you have to be from Berlin. But there are similar things in Munich, I think. The FFH, is it there? Some of the bigger cities have programs like that.
But there are multiple reasons why you have to be in Berlin anyway.
Yeah, more than one, not only the medium board. Any other questions? Okay. Anjin,
I got one.
got one.
Do you consider doing Facebook games, or like this project in particular, as some sort of stepping stone towards making the author games you fell in love with originally, or is it now because it's a different kind of game with a different
I don't think
motivations behind?
I don't think I'm moving away from these like auteur games I like to make, because I learned so much about making games that I think it's anything I learned there will be helpful and applicable to the games I also want to make. So it's not like, oh no, I'm working on something that's different. It's just like I learned so much I wouldn't learn if I just like jumped right in and do author games or something like that. That's a great thing. I always see what I can learn from that to like what I couldn't learn in something else. Anything I do now will help me later on to do like other games I want to make. So at the moment, it's everything is a stepping stone to what I want to do. But like doing auteur games is not very high on my list at the moment. That's what I go to the Global Game Jam for, to just like shoot crazy stuff out. Okay. One more.
You basically did the dive into cold water like right after finishing your education.
Yeah.
You went into basically a startup project. Was this a good decision, or
It was the best decision of my life, I think. It was good that I was so stupid and unknowing at that moment. If I knew everything that was like coming, was up the like in the next year, like when the day we founded it, if I knew everything that would like come towards me in the next year, I probably wouldn't have done it. But it's still like in hindsight, it's the best decision I ever made. Like I said, for me, it's perfect. I feel like it's exactly what I want to do at the moment. But it's definitely not for everyone. But yeah, it's jump in the cold water, and you should be a bit stupid and crazy to do stuff like this. Yeah?
So in case, what did push you? I mean, finally, what was the moment? Or
I mean, it was
it's just the moment sometimes.
the one event that was for us to say we have to found a company was that we were talking to Universal Music here in Berlin, and they wanted to set up a letter of intent saying, okay, if you're making this game, we will provide music rights you can use in your game. And we said, okay, we need like a legal form to like, we can sign as a private person on this letter of intent, so we needed a company for that. So we said, okay, for the contract, we're going to make the company, and later on get more and more and more, and then you get an office, and you're like snowballing into all this. The one thing was like, it was crazy for us to say like these 3 little students like back from school like for half a year out, and Universal is talking to us. It was insane. We were like so hyped. Yeah, this is going to be big. We believed to that, but like the initial event was this contract we had to sign with Universal. Okay, I think my time is up.
You still got 6 minutes. But
Oh, okay.
We can start the lunch break.
Okay, cool.
So anyone can get a new question in. We got a couple of minutes. Otherwise, we start the lunch break early. So, and thank Norbert.
Thanks for listening. And you can chat me up on Twitter or by mail if you like.